going on? Well, we got a crew. We got Dragon up there. We got Shadoe, Panda, Matt. Do you even go by Roman Gnome anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Roman Gnome. I don't remember what it's called. And well, I'm here. We are in the Catskills. Haven't been up here in a couple of years. It's nice to be back. The sky is gray. I brought my giant poncho that I bought when I was in Vermont, and we're gonna go. Nothing new, really. Table Mountain in Peekamoose. Dragon and I did this a few years ago, and but we're gonna go up. It's a nice spot. It's Shadoe's first time to Catskills, so
we'll see what happens.
See what happens. See if he survives.
Do we want to get a picture?
We should probably get a picture. So yeah. So, oh, that's cool. We are here, right there. All right. We're not far from camp to start, so. All right, we're not even a mile and a half in. We are down to the big bridge. Oh, they made these stairs a little less steep. Oh, they've done some work this bridge. Must have washed out. This is all new decking. Ah, the Catskills. All right, we made it to camp. We only went like a little over a mile and a half. We're right on the creek here. And when Dragon and I were here last time, we were up the creek on the other side. There were a couple people camping over there. So we came back over on this side. We got Matt over here with his banana hammock red tail. And his ASIM tarp. Now he usually uses this in rectangle mode, but we were getting rain as we were setting up, so I showed him how to set up in ASIM mode. So he's got a little more coverage. I brought my coyote pack with my Dyneema tarp just because I knew there's a chance of rain, and I'm more familiar with tarp configurations with the gathered end, so I did that. Shadoe's got his. Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I'll just put it back by your food. You're by your canister.
Yep.
Thanks. Shadoe just picked up a coyote pack. And Shadoe, if I would have known Shadoe before he bought the red tail, I would have suggested the coyote pack just because it's wider, and he's like Don's height, but he's a bulkier guy. So he bought a coyote pack, so he's got a little more room. This is his first time out with that. And then his big 1209 tarp. Just added snaps on here for his quilts out here in the field, which is always fun to be able to do that kind of stuff. And then Dragon and Panda are tent camping, and then we stopped on our way in. There's a gas station on the way into like the Slide Mountain area that makes a killer hoagie, so we stopped, picked up some sandwiches, and that's what we're gonna do for dinner. So I'm gonna spray some DEET because Dragon already had a tick on him, so we're just trying to be as cautious as possible. We might get some. We had a little rain as we were setting up, but it's kind of cleared up, but it could be off and on overnight. So we're gonna eat our sandwiches and chill out, and then tomorrow we will summit Table in Peekamoose. So we'll get up super early, we'll leave camp set up, we'll head up, summit, come down, break down, and leave. So right now that's the plan. So I'm gonna spray with some DEET just to be safe, and then eat. DEET and then eat. I'm gonna take a little look at the creek here. It is 8:30 right now, so it's getting dark. But this is the creek that we're set up along. I, for a minute, thought about setting up over there between those two trees, but there's nothing down here to stake my tarp down to. So I stayed where I was. It's been raining off and on, so we were all in our hammocks for a good little bit, and then we all kind of hung out underneath my tarp for a little bit. Dragon's got his camp lights. Nice little campsite. Matt and Panda ran down to the store, so they should be back soon. There's the trail right there. You can see the bridge. I think you can kind of make out the bridge right there. And then there's like a possible campsite right here. We were looking at that one, but there's a site right on the other side of the trail that's the one we were gonna go to, but there was some tents there. So we came back over here. But yeah, we're gonna get up super early, like 4, and then just make breakfast, eat, and then as daylight starts to break and we can see, maybe even a little bit before that, we're gonna hit the trail and then go summit the mountains. It's like 9 to 10 miles round trip, but Dragon and I have already done this summit, and we know that once we get up on Table Mountain, that's it. That's the end of the really hard stuff. Table Mountain's pretty flat. Over to Peekamoose. There's a little climb up to Peekamoose, but it's not bad. So that's going to do it for the first day. It's going to be dark here soon. And then see you in the morning.
Today,
What's that?
I'm gonna start my water bottle off with electrolyte.
Oh, one of those big tablets?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to cut it. Well, good morning. A little later than we expected to get going, but it's still pretty early. It's like, what, 5 o'clock? 6 o'clock? I don't know.
Number.
It is 6 o'clock on the nose. So we are down one person. Panda wasn't feeling good, so she headed back to the car. We did bring 2 cars, so that's not a problem. But the rest of us gonna go summit the mountains and hope. We're not supposed to have any rain, but we got some sprinkles already, so we're just hoping it doesn't open up. But we've all got rain gear. Here's my 6 o'clock alarm. All right. All right, we've been climbing for a while. It's a little after 7 o'clock now. We're at almost 3,200 feet, and we got about 600 feet of elevation gain to go to get to the top of the table. We've had climbs like this, a couple of little steeper ones, but we know we've got one big steep one. And yeah, I say a lot how, you know, the camera does not do things justice. So there's my trekking poles, and here's the rock step. Like 3/4 of the trekking pole. So there's some spots like that. This really isn't a bad climb. It's just long, but we got some signal. Weather looks like these clouds are going to break up. We should be good for the day, but it is the mountains, so anything can happen. We are prepared for the worst. Maybe not the absolute worst, but pretty bad. We're prepared for pretty bad. We're almost to the shelter, which is just below the 3,500 foot mark. So we'll be there shortly. And then from there, it's a mad dash up to the top of the table. But it's starting to look very Catskilly up here, and I love it. Easier. There it goes. All right, so we stopped at the shelter, and there was a couple guys there we talked to. They had a very cool dog. We've passed the 3,500 foot mark, and we're on our final push here, or near final push. And you can see, there's a good angle of it. You can see how Matt's climbing. It's fairly steep. But gorgeous. Yeah, so they're straight ahead. And as Matt disappears out of frame, it gets very close to the top.
still 300 foot. Yeah. Where you get about 100 of it out of the way.
Yeah. Maybe 150.
Yeah, maybe.
There is a Vista coming, but we are in the cloud right now, so you might not get to see much. This is the ecosystem of the Catskills I love. Mossy, low trees. Love it. Alright, so this is the first little step in the climb. We're up to the Vista, and I just don't think we're gonna see much. Yeah, a little while ago we hiked into the clouds, and we stayed up here. It's a little slick. Not much of a vista, but it is still pretty. It's the roots are slippery. So this is Peekamoose. And Dragon and I have seen this already.
I've seen it in summer and winter.
Yeah, I've seen it in summer, but yeah, it's a little foggy, a little cloudy.
First time, it's a
We're in
great
cloud.
view.
It's great. I mean, you know, there's some cool stuff out there. But yeah, I didn't really show Table because when we got to that Vista, that's kind of the top, and then there's no more views off of Vista. I'll record that on the way back.
Funny.
It's a really cool hike.
She doesn't know.
But
No, I guess not.
yeah, we're gonna hang out here for a little bit. Maybe this will blow away. The sky's getting brighter. Maybe it'll blow away, and we'll get a view. Yeah, it's opening up a little bit, like 10 seconds after I stopped recording. This opened up. Oh yeah, look at that, it's just disappearing.
You gave me some though.
Yeah.
You got your little taste.
Well, the way the air is going, you might push more.
Yeah.
Did you find yours?
Yeah, it's coming in. This size is wrapping right back around the mountain. Well, I'll take it.
They're not bad.
For a second, you could see the reservoir out there for a brief second, and it started to close back in.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see. We'll see if it opens back up.
That's when we did it with the snow.
So
And
this
it was
is
just-
the
we just
peak
dicked around
of
the
Peekamoose.
entire time we were there.
And there's no, I mean, I guess the rock is, usually there's a cairn, but I think they just use that rock.
I've seen that view, hands down.
There's a little trail goes up there. So we're gonna head back over to Table.
Yeah.
I'll show you a hike through Table. It's pretty dark when we were in there.
I just want to soak it in
But,
and just stare at it. Come in and count.
Get you a little glimpse of it.
We're gonna put a bit hike to do slide.
Yeah.
So that was our big climb for the return trip. Mostly steps, it wasn't too bad. But now we're back up on Table, and this is kind of what you got. And this is just a cool summit of a mountain that's just flat. No real vistas from up here. Just that one from earlier that was all socked in with fog, which we might be able to see from when we get back over there. Because it looked like it was clearing up behind us as we're coming back.
Sorry.
That's right. So on the sides here, there are some campsites. It is important to note though that this summit is above 3,500 feet. So those campsites cannot be used in the summer. Or for winter use only. And if you're thinking, oh, I'll go camp up there, no one's gonna come up there. A ranger did come through last night and was checking on everybody. So if they come out and find you up here in the summer, they will escort you down below 3,500 feet. They are very active up here. So that little step up. This is the official summit of Table Mountain. So we'll go a little bit further. Just starting to walk in the cloud again. So I don't have high hopes of Vista. But still a beautiful hike up along this mountaintop. All right, so as we were approaching the Vista, there's a hiker coming out of here, and I'm like, hey, did that clear up down there? He's like, oh yeah, it's gorgeous. And he's not kidding, it cleared right up. Can't really see the Burroughs Ranger here, like we can just see the back end of it. But, nice.
You're probably right.
It's true. Now we gotta go back down that little plateau and drop down off the other side. Hey, that's that house down there. Dragon.
Oh, the fancy house?
Yeah. Isn't that it right there?
I believe so.
That's awesome. That place is humongous. It's like a little Catskills mansion. I gotta move and let Matt come down. So this might be hard to see with the camera, but right there, this rock kind of looks like old school Megatron, like his face. Really, it's kind of hard to see with the trees in the way. So we saw that the first time Dragon and I were here. We use it as like a little knoll between camp and Table Mountain. They gotta go up and over. And on one side of it is Megatron. On the opposite side is a little like group of rocks sitting by a trail. It looks like a table and like a chair. It's pretty cool. So we don't have far to go now to get to camp. We're pretty much through the worst of the descent. I think there might be one more like kind of steep spot. Then there's a little bit of a rock scramble, like a boulder field, which isn't too bad. We'll be back down to camp. All right, we are all broken down, heading back to the car. It's like 1:45, so we made really good time coming back down from Table and Peekamoose. Beautiful. I mean, the day it's all cleared up, but that is really cool up on those vistas with the clouds cutting in and out. It was really nice. We did see that ranger again. He comes up here like every day or a few times a week, just checks on people, make sure they're doing good. Hops like between mountains here and there. It's pretty cool. It's a neat job to have. I think we went around the other way last time. It's a little bit muddy. Yeah, there's some stones there. Oh, right in the mud. Right in the mud. I got it. Oh, all right. So once you get up the hill here, back out to like the main kind of trail from Denning Road over to Slide Mountain. There's not much to show there. Mostly an old forest road. So we got a mile and a half back to the car. And that's gonna do it. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Another kind of revisit to a hike we've done already, but some new people. It was fun. See you next.